Hey guys, like my side braid? Sorry I'm late. I was actually doing a recording for my podcast and realized it was time. So here I am. I'll give a minute for, oh, this is cool. I didn't know I could share with a group. What? That's pretty cool. Can I share with my own group? Oh, yes, I can. We'll share in there. Where else can we share? Ooh, this is fun. Okay, I think that's it for now. Okay, but where'd you go now? Okay, I think I shared it. Hang on. That's the only place I wanted to share it. Okay, so welcome to Live Intuitive Guidance. I felt like hopping on today and doing live readings. So how this works is if you've never done this before, feel free to pop a question below and I will answer in the order in which I receive them. Hello, welcome. Tracy, Karina, hello, welcome. Let me find... Okay, the last time I tried this on my personal page, we'll see how this goes. I couldn't see the comments right away, so I'm gonna pull it up on my iPad too. Oh, hey, hi, yay, a comment, okay. Thank you for saying that, hello. So I know that it's working. Okay. So, how is everybody tonight? Welcome. If you've never been here, feel free to pop a question below and I will answer in the order that I get them. But you gotta ask questions. Otherwise, you're just gonna hear me talk and stare at you and that will be awkward. I mean, not the talking part, but the staring part, that might be a little awkward. But hey, we're those kind of friends. So, hey, Corey, Rachel, hey, everyone. So excited to see you. Who is that giving me all those little bubbles and cuteness? Is that Dawn? Oh, Dawn, thank you. So, to get started, give me a question. What you got? What you got for me? And hopefully the comments keep showing up, like, okay. It's in this moment, I wish I had the Jeopardy theme. Do, 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 do. I think I'm gonna find that and play it every time I'm like waiting for questions. I think that'd be fun. So, everybody's cool? You got no questions about life? No questions about anything? I mean, that's awesome. But I really want to answer your questions, so I'm here for you. So good to see all of you. I wish we can actually, like, converse back and forth other than just text, but, you know. Okay. Whoops. Let me see. Let me see more of the question. Okay. When X randomly contacts you. Where's it? Won't let me see more. Okay, so it's letting me. It keeps popping up all these little like emojis. Hang on, 1 second. The part that I can see, Rachel, is like, hey, when an ex randomly contacts you out of nowhere, do you think that's a sign from the ... And it says see more, and then there's a bunch of emojis that keep popping up, but it won't let me see the rest of your comment. So let me see if I can bring this up here. I had this issue last time, and that's not fun. But what I can say, it's so weird seeing me talk on here, like, live. Okay. Let me see some questions. Oh, okay. See more. Go away emojis. Okay, from the universe that the person is right around the corner. So, lead me not into temptation. Yeah, sometimes I think when an ex reaches out, I think it's for a number of reasons. I think it's one, to kind of like benchmarker, like where have you grown, right? It's like, are you going to give in to that? It's easy. A lot of times we experience relationships, we learn from them, we grow from them. But then sometimes like all the good memories flood in and all the reasons we wanted to be with that person, and we just so happen to forget all the reasons why we left, right? So sometimes I think it can be not like a test per se, but I think sometimes it's more like, okay, girl, what do you want? Like, are you ready for the next level? Are you ready for the next portion of growth when it comes to relationships? Because that's really what relationships are about. It's like we go into soul contracts with people, whether they're long-term or short-term, and we're meant to learn and grow and, frankly, trigger the shit out of each other so that we can actually heal our patterns and our limiting beliefs and our feelings of like not enoughness. And there's a cat tail in my head. And so I think a lot of times when like exes start popping up, I've actually experienced this recently, that it's kind of like, kind of like the universe's way of saying like, okay, what you want to do now, right? And are you going to step back into that old relationship? Now, I'm not saying that you can never go back into a relationship that you had been in before and that it won't work. But I am saying like it's an opportunity for you to look at your own level of growth and see if you're ready for the next. Like, what are you willing to accept, and how much joy are you willing to bring into your life and allow yourself to have, right? Because sometimes we slip into like relationships that feel comfortable because we know them. We like, it's kind of like, what's that saying? It's like the devil you know versus the devil you don't know, or I think that's a saying, or I made it up. Who knows? But it's kind of like looking at, like, are you ready for the next thing? How much joy will you allow? How much are you going to allow new to come into your world, right? Are you ready to up-level the types of relationships you are calling in, right? So I wouldn't say it's a test, but I do think it's kind of like a benchmarker to see like, hey girl, are you ready for this next part of the journey? That's just my take on it. Okay. Corey, is youth sports coaching my right career path? I feel like you are so good with kids. I feel like you can reach kids. You also have a very playful heart, and that is so important and it's such a gift, because so often, we think we need to like grow up and become an adult. And yes, to a certain degree, we need to like be responsible, right? And be accountable for ourselves. But the more you can come from that playfulness and that joy and that lightheartedness, I think it was Wayne Dyer I've heard say that, it's like, if you don't want to get old, don't let an old person move into your body. It's like, be in that playfulness, be in that joyous state, like allow that to be okay, because it is, I think a lot of times as we become adults, we kind of like lose touch with that piece of us, or some of us never really had it at all. And so I think the fact that you have it and it's so natural and you can relate to kids on that level, and I think it's because of that playfulness, because of that lightheartedness, because of that adventurous spirit, that curious spirit of like, still being curious about life. And I think you can give them a perspective that is fresh. You're still an adult, so there's like a level of respect there. And I don't think it's going to be always like specifically youth sports coaching. I see you running like almost like I don't know if this is the right word for it, but like almost like summer camps, right? Almost like kind of like retreats for kids to really help them gain their confidence. There may be sports and things that they do, you know, like archery, I don't know. But in general, it'll be like this, yeah, like this fun, like almost like summer camp feel. Like maybe a week-long program or a 2-week program or something like that, where kids can like really explore who they are and be okay with who they are and grow in their confidence. So I think working with kids is definitely for you. And you get to decide in what kind of capacity you want that to be. But don't lose that lighthearted, that playfulness, because that's a gift. Not everybody has that. You can actually help adults get back into that too. You can help adults like reconnect to that, because we all need help with that a lot of times. Okay, welcome. Your burst around the corner. That's the second part of the question. Oh, sorry, Rachel. I missed that part. Okay, so if you're just joining, welcome. If you have a question, pop it below, and I will answer in the order in which I receive them. Let's see. Do you think it's a sign from the universe that this person is right around the corner? That's the second part of your question. Okay, got it. Yeah, so, remember that thing we did in Bali, like that, like create a mate? Like really get specific on your desires and your intentions around a partner. You know, take a look at what you really loved about the relationships you've had, what's really worked for you, how you want to be treated, and also, you know, what you want specifically in a relationship, you know, and what's not working for you or what hasn't worked for you. And just get really clear on that. And then I think it's really about you putting yourself in places that excite you and that light you up. And the more that you connect to yourself and to connect to what you desire, I feel like you're going to naturally call him in. I don't feel like it's going to be ooh, my heart's beating so fast. I don't think it's going to be like a super long time. I want to say within the next 6 months, I see you connecting with this person. I feel like he's going to be an older gentleman. And I don't know why, but I think he may be Southern. A silver fox, if you will. But I feel like a lot of the men you've dated, how do I want to say this? I feel like they're not really on your level. It's like a lot of men, a lot of boys disguised as men. Does that make sense? And no offense to the men on this group. I think we all have, you know, a certain level of growth and that we need to do. But I feel like this man, like you're calling in, is, you know, he's kind of already been there, done that, and he's ready to like create his empire, leave his legacy. And so I feel like there's going to be like this safety in that, this like solidness in that. And so, but really, I think all you got to do, girlfriend, is just like do what lights you up, and you will become that like moth to the flame, and you will be calling him in. And again, just be really clear about how do you want to feel in the relationship? How do you want to be treated? And get specific. Like, I would love it if he like brushes my hair and massages me, and like just be really specific, like how you want to feel and what you want, that, you know, get in the excitement of it. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is like get in that energy, get in that excitement of it, because like attracts like, right? And we're kind of mirrors to what we're experiencing in life. So if you're, you know, when it comes to like your exes or things like that, like take a look at like what was in them that you see in yourself, and is that something for you to shift too? So I like this man. So you'll have to let me know about that. Let's just leave it at that. Let's see. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Brandon. Mr. Corey. Yeah, that really resonated. Yeah, you're welcome. Hey, Keith. Ryan, Miss Rachel. Don't want any of these past men, right? They're just randomly cut. Yeah. Let's just say, you know, are you willing to settle? I think that's kind of the repeating pattern there. Yeah, you are welcome. So if you're just joining, welcome. If you have questions, pop them below and I will answer in the order in which I receive them. I'm glad these comments are actually coming through this time. It's very helpful. Nothing worse than trying to do a live and the comments aren't flowing. So what else you got for me? I'm super thirsty. We didn't think talking takes a lot of energy, but it really does. But that's okay, because I like to talk. Hey, Melissa, welcome. So if you're just joining, if you've never done one of these before, basically how it works is I'm on here and giving intuitive readings, intuitive guidance. And so if you've got a question, pop it below and I will answer in the order that they come in. Okay. What time we got here? Just want to make sure I'm watching my time. I mean, I could do this all day, but we got to make sure we have questions going. Oh, so while I have you on here, I'll just share this. So pretty soon, hey Bridget, welcome. So pretty soon I will be heading out on a 1-year-long tour, calling it the Year of Freedom. So I'll be traveling and also shooting personal branding photography for entrepreneurs and influencers, and we're making it a tour. So I just wanted to clarify some things around that. Oh, hey, welcome. Oh, if you have a question, by the way, pop it in below and I will answer it. Right now I'm just talking because nobody's asking questions. Hey, Sarah, welcome. So, so part of this tour is to, you know, if you want me to come to your city and photograph you, then you can definitely be added to the tour. So that's just a matter of like, let's get on a call, let's talk about it, and let's make that happen. But so far on the tour, and it'll adjust as things get added. So far on the tour, we're doing Wisconsin, because I haven't been home in a year, and Mexico, and San Diego, Los Angeles. Hey, welcome. I love you too, girl. Greece and Arizona. I think that's what we've got so far. So that's over the course of the entire year. So it will change and shift as we go along, but I'll be sharing that journey and I'm really excited about that. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And so it'd be awesome if you followed along. And I'm also launching, October 1st, I'm launching my Seeing Beauty Session podcast, which is myself as well as many other women sharing stories of how they've transformed their pain into purpose. So it's pretty cool. Okay, Miss Karina, I'm going through a period of withdrawal from people in general. I'm not sure how to get back into see more and emojis. Hang on. Sorry, for some reason it cuts it off and then it doesn't let me read the rest of it. So bear with me a moment. Hey, where'd it go? Hi, Brookie. Oh, that's funny. Let me find this again. I don't know why it just acts up whenever I'm doing a reading. Okay, see more. Okay, how to get back into the social flow. Right now I'm having a hard time interacting. I totally get that. okay? I think a couple of things are happening. So, one, anytime we go through, okay, so in life we go through expansions and contractions. And anytime, hey Jennifer, anytime we are experiencing a contraction, we like to go inward, right? It's like, if you think of it like it's our way of wanting safety, or like kind of cocooning ourselves almost. You know, you think about it, we come into this life, we're like all balled up and in this like little, you know, little comfortable ball. And so I think anytime we go through any big changes, or we're about to step out into, anytime we're about to step out into something new, something different, something outside of our comfort zone, we just want to like contract, right? And that's okay. However, the more you can practice kind of shifting out of that, the less time those contractions take. I myself just went through one where I wasn't on social media for a good week. You know, being an empath, which I think you are too, being sensitive, like, you can kind of take a lot on if you don't know how to manage that energy. And so, and even still, there's things I do to manage my energy and to, you know, I think part of it too is like working through your own like emotions and trying to keep your vibe high. And it's kind of one of the biggest, I'm kind of learning that it's one of the biggest mind, you know what's, oh no, low connection, no. Hang on. I'm gonna wait for it to turn green. Hopefully you can still hear me. Come on, internet gods, let's make this work. Come on, you can do it. Hopefully you can still hear me. So it's one of the biggest, really, I think, biggest mind, you know what's, that happens. It's like, you know, if you follow the law of attraction or universal law or things like that, it's like part of attracting what you want is really acting as if it's already happening, being in a high vibe state, matching your energetically to what you're wanting. But it's also difficult because if you're in your stuff and it's like you're in that dark place or that fearful place, like it is one of the hardest things to do. However, it's what's necessary. So what I recommend to you is to find things to reach out, have touchstones available to you at the ready that you can reach out to, that you know bring you joy, right? So I'll give you some examples. So for me, I love me puppy, like I love puppies. I don't know what it is about puppies, but I just like get lit up by puppies. So I literally have a board on Pinterest, all of puppies. You just had a granddaughter. If she lights up your world, like reach out, see if you can go see her, talk to her, like use the things that bring you the most joy as your touchstones to help you get out of those contractions, to help you get out of those periods of wanting to just like shut down, right? Because the more you do that and the more you reach out, whether that, you know, like I'll just give you some more examples of how I do that. So I love to dance. I love music. I love to dance. I'm highly motivated by both. So I actually will watch YouTube videos in the morning of like songs or videos that I love. And that's one way I help keep my energy like in a better place, right? In a high vibe place. Now, that's not all the time. And sometimes I forget too, right? Sometimes I forget that I can connect at all, right? But having people, having support, having people you can reach out to, get support from, get, you know, having things in place that can really help you get out of your stuff, and having people who can help you remember who you are is one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself. And so know that it's not a bad thing to go inward, right? As long as you're not letting it take you down. It's actually a good thing at times to go inward, because sometimes we need to remove ourselves from everything else around us and all the other like external influences, and especially if you're someone who has had a hard time trusting yourself or learning to really believe in yourself, having external validation is not helpful. Sometimes it feels good, right? It's like, oh yeah, they agreed with me too. So it helps us to trust ourselves a little bit more. But really, the more you can go inward and listen to what your heart's calling you to do, and then you do it and see the results of that, that's how you build trust within yourself. So just have some things in place that really help pull you out of your stuff, and have people you can reach out to and say hey, I'm in it today. Can we talk? You gotta have a place to, as women, we have this metaphorical basket, right? And we collect all these things in our basket that we want to share throughout a day. So have someone you could go to unload your basket to. Because if you don't have any place to put all of the thoughts you have, all of the feelings you have, all the experiences you have in a day, let alone a week, a month, a year, whatever, that's when you get flooded and when you get overloaded. And self-care is another huge part of all of this. Taking care of yourself, taking time to nourish yourself, nourish your soul, clearing your energy is also super important. Because sometimes I think we just marinate in the emotions, and that's when we kind of feel stuck in them. But it doesn't have to be that way. So putting some things in place to help you shift out of that will be super helpful. I got you, girl. Okay. Let's see. Next up, we have Miss Melissa, I believe. Okay, Melissa says, will I ever be able to forgive a person who I thought was a good friend? My intuition tells me see more. Hang on, let me see if I can see this. Let's just move that over there, do a little of this. Sorry, I gotta check my iPad because my phone doesn't let me see the whole comment. Okay, my intuition tells me she took advantage of our friendship. Okay. Here's the thing. Okay, so in general, most people are not trying to harm us or hurt us. However, a lot of times we can be triggered by them. Something about what they did, something about what they said triggers us. And then it becomes really difficult not to go into blame, not to go into oh, she totally did me wrong, right? And so take a look at what have you learned from this relationship? And some relationships you do have to walk away from, right? Some relationships aren't good for you. And so on that, I would say really check in with yourself, trust your intuition. If you feel like she was taking advantage, then, that could very well be. And ask yourself, is this a relationship that actually fills you up? Does it nourish you or does it deplete you? Feel into that for yourself too. Because if it's something where you feel like it's a mutual friendship, it's worth sitting down and talking to her about it. But if it's a depleting relationship, if you find you're always doing all the work, you're always the one showing up, you're always the one, some relationships are like that. But the issue with that is we set ourselves up for that by allowing it. Now, that's not to put shame or put blame or anything like that, but we have to kind of take a look at our side of the street and say, how was I showing up and what did I allow, right? I think in this case, there is a bit of mistrust, and I think it has caused some friction. And so I think that feeling of being taken advantage of is kind of some buildup of resentment. And I think there may have even been a little bit of not voicing what worked for you or what actually felt good to you, right? It's if we don't share with people. Okay, let me give you an example. So it's like having a silent contract with someone. It's kind of like saying, oh, I expect you to take out the garbage, but I never told you. So it's not really fair in that it doesn't give the person the opportunity to make it right or to even know that that was a need that you wanted. So I feel like in this particular relationship, there were some issues that have happened, some things that went unsaid, and some expectations that were kind of put in place, and it never really got discussed. And then it was a buildup of like resentment and mistrust. And now, of course, yeah, you feel taken advantage of. So just kind of take a look at, like, were there things in this relationship that maybe weren't said or communicated? You know, we have to be willing to ask for what we need in relationships, no matter if it's friendships, romantic relationships, whatnot. Like, even, I can tell you, even if you're psychic, you don't know what people are thinking. You don't know what their experience is. So a lot of times we're really wrapped up in our own experience of what's happening that we don't even consider what the other person is experiencing. Now, again, you got to trust your intuition on this yourself. So check in with yourself and really, you know, take a look at, you know, how are you showing up and how is she showing up, and was there anything that wasn't discussed? And then also, is this relationship to begin with something that nourishes you, or is it something that depletes you? I've had many depleting relationships, and at times I've had to walk away. That's not to say you just discard people and you just walk away from them, right? But there is a limit, and you do have boundaries to put in place. And if those boundaries aren't being honored after you've clearly expressed them, then that is a pretty clear sign to walk away. So I hope that helps. Okay, let's see. Miss Hua. Okay. Didn't know I could sing, did you? I can't. I mean, I do, but I can't. Okay, welcome. If you're just joining, feel free to pop a question below and I will answer in the order in which I receive them. Okay, I've done some energy work, shaman energetic healing, kundalini, I love kundalini, and self-couple healing and Reiki. See more. Okay, 1 second. Sorry guys, I have to do this, but I can't read the rest of the comment if I don't. Okay. Oh, and I'm losing my clothes. Okay. Welcome, Karen. Okay. So I feel like I'm needing more talk therapy. These darn emojis are getting in the way. Every time I click see more, the emoji covers what I'm trying to read. Okay, I feel, so hang on, I'm trying to figure this out. Course of action right now. I would love, oh, yay, somebody else popped on, so I pushed it up. Okay, thanks, Rhonda. Okay, I feel like I may be needing more talk therapy, but not sure what the best course of action is right now. I would love to continue to do it all, but that is impossible. What do you recommend at this time? Okay, awesome, thanks. Hey, welcome, welcome. So, Miss Hua, couple things. Okay, we can't do it all the time. And I know that, you know, you're a busy mom and you got to pick things that really work for you. And if you're feeling like your intuition is calling you to do more talk therapy right now, then I'd say, like, put your focus on that. Now, there are other ways you can incorporate some of these modalities that you really love and enjoy, and that are maybe just don't take up quite as much time, right? Like, for example, you could do Kundalini on Gaia. For those of you who aren't familiar, Kundalini is this amazing, I guess, practice, you could say. It's not entirely like yoga. It helps move energy. And so it can be really powerful and really healing too. So I would say, you know, like something like Gaia, it's like $10 a month. You can watch as many videos as you want. There's yoga on there, there's Pilates, there's Kundalini, there's a lot available to you. Especially for those in the Midwest, because I know like Kundalini isn't super, I think, popular. I don't even know if there are any instructors in the Midwest. So somebody should get on that. But do what you can and do what you feel called to. Whether it's getting a coach, a mentor, a therapist, whatever you think will help really get you to that next level of healing. And know that even if having someone to coach or to mentor you, or even a therapist, they can really help you see your blind spots, see, when you're in your stuff, it's like you can't see the forest through the trees kind of a thing. So having someone there that can help kind of like guide you and also see beyond what's at the surface can be really helpful. And you will get there either way, I have no doubt. You will uncover and discover like the next layer of your healing. But having a coach, a mentor, someone like that you can talk that out with can get you there faster. It can just kind of like save you a lot of steps in between. So I would say like really tap into what is your intuition calling you to do, and who is it calling you to work with, and then in between, just fit in the practices where you can, because they're all beneficial to you, but it's really about what really nourishes you right now. I feel like, you have such a beautiful and like loving heart, and you're always like taking care of everybody else first, which a lot of moms do. But I think it's really important for you to like fill your tank too. Right? And a lot of times we don't do that as much as, we probably should. But it's really about, and really make it a practice you can bring your kids in with, I mean, yes, some things do it on your own, but like one of the things I love, and I'll just share, oh yeah, you're welcome. Okay, she's in Madison. Yeah, that can be a haul if you're trying to do Kundalini, like, yeah, that's a haul. Gaia is amazing. Like, it's $10 a month. They've got documentaries on there. They've got different like healing modality, like classes and courses and things like that. And it's unlimited. So you can do it at your home. You can do it. I really love, there's one particular instructor on there, Gujarat, I think is how you say her name. I don't know. I'm probably butchering that. It's like Guru, and then Jagat. She's one of my favorites on there. But that could be a great thing to get your kids in on too. One of the things I love, I'll just share really quickly. A few weeks ago, I had a friend come visit from the Midwest, and we took her, my friend and I here, took her to the Korean spa. And one of the things I love about going to the Korean spa, you're welcome. Right. Take time earlier in the day to fill yourself up before everybody wakes up. I know that means sometimes like going to bed earlier and getting up earlier, but it can really change your world. But the Korean spa, so this is not a place for the faint of heart. So you are like pretty much, okay, I'm not gonna lie, you're completely naked in front of strangers, and you are in this kind of like communal area, and you shower and you sauna and you like soak, and then eventually you come on over and they really give you a great scrub down, and they get in places where nobody else has ever been. Like no massage therapist has ever been. But you leave there feeling like amazing, and you have brand new skin, and it's like such a nourishing experience, and doing so really helps you kind of see your own growth. At least that's been my experience, but that's for another day. But one of the things I loved, and why I'm sharing this with you, is because there was women of every different shape, size, color, you name it, whatever. And there were kids there too. There were women that brought their 4-year-olds, their 7-year-olds, their 12-year-olds, and they were there taking care of themselves too. Can you imagine, like, if we taught young girls at a very young age, like from the time they're born, that we should take care of our bodies and love ourselves and fill up our tanks first, how amazing would that be? Like, we would have such strong, like, confident, independent little people, right? So don't be afraid to let your kids in on what you're doing. Yes, have your own mommy time, your own like me time, but also bring them in on that. Like, let them be part of your self-love nourishment journey, because they should be doing it too. It's good for them too, right? And how cute, like a bunch of little kids doing Kundalini. I mean, come on. Korean spa in Chicago? Yeah. Road trip. Just saying. Okay, so let's see. We got here. Hopefully that helped, Miss Lady. Okay, lack of communication was a big problem. I own my action. Good for you, girlfriend. Yeah, a lot of times, you know, it can be a challenge if we're not willing to like look at our side of the street, but it's necessary. Okay, so let's see. So if you're just joining, or if you hopped on just a little bit ago, pop your question below and I'll get to the answer in the order in which I received it. Answer, order, whatever, you know what I mean. Okay. Lesson, I was more mad and resentful with the lack of communication. Okay, somebody put something in here so it pops it up for me. Say hello, I don't know. It's doing that whole emoji thing where it's like covering up the words. Let it go and move on. Yeah, sometimes, you know, sometimes, Melissa, that is the best course of action. You know, I think I'm so grateful that I've gotten to a place where I can let go and forgive easily. Let me tell you, in my 20s, I would hold grudges like, woo, like, not good. And it really does not hurt the other person. It only hurts ourselves, because they're not sitting there feeling it. They're like, ooh, I'm cool, I'm good. Meanwhile, we're like reeling with like anger or sadness or depression or madness, you know, because we're the ones that are holding on to it. And so I love that you're like talking about just letting it go, you know, because it's you know, when we don't forgive someone, it's like that saying, like, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Like, it doesn't help. It does us no good to hold on to resentment and anger. I used to be an anger ball. Like, I will be the first to admit, in my 20s, like, oh my God, good Lord. My parents, like, sorry, Mom. I was an anger ball. And it wasn't until one of actually my boyfriend at the time, when I was dating, he just kind of flat out put it out there one day, and he was like, you know, if you're going to be angry all the time, this is really going to suck. And I was like, oh. And he was like this sweet, kind of quiet, calm, peaceful guy, and he tells me this, and I'm like, okay, better shift that. It took me some time, but yeah, holding on to anger, holding on to resentment does nobody any good. It's not serving you. Let it go. And like you said, move on. And take a look at, you know, a lot of times these things will keep coming up for us. And so what's important about that is taking a look at, what am I meant to learn from this? What is the lesson in this? What is the gift in this? When we can start to look at the gift in these situations and the challenges we go through, that's where we really can heal not only ourselves, but that's when we don't get those lessons anymore. When you can start like learning from the challenges you go through and start looking at, what am I meant to learn here? And then you get it, then it's like you no longer have to deal with that lesson. So just figure that out and move on. No, but really it is helpful to take a look at it that way. And to remember that everything that's happening, no matter how shitty and awful it is happening for us, not to us. And I know that is like, are you kidding me? Like, what about this, that, and whatever, right? There's a lot of terrible, awful things that happen, but everything has a purpose and everything is in place for a reason. You know, like the current status of the US and all the stuff that's been happening, right? That needed to happen because we kind of got a little complacent. Now, no matter what side you're on, no matter what, I don't want to get into politics. I really don't, care much. I'm more concerned about what can we learn from this and how can we show up differently? Because what has been happening has not been working, right? And it's shined light into the darkness, right? It's been shining a light on, racism and violence and all of the bad shit that happens. So everything has a purpose, everything has an intention, and there is a lesson to be learned. And sometimes, unfortunately, it takes big things to move us because we like to be comfortable. We like a certain level of certainty. And even though we also like uncertainty because life would be a little boring if we didn't have any uncertainty, right? We like a little bit of spontaneity, a little bit of adventure. But if we did not if we don't move, sometimes things happen that make us move. A job loss, a divorce, a death, a accident, whatever. Like, big things happen to get us to move. And so I think to ease some of that, it's important to continue growing, to continue evolving and listening to your heart and following your intuition. And so I think that's really an important piece to it all. That came through. Okay. Welcome. Chicago. Yes. Korean spa day. Yes, please. I will be in Tucson. I don't remember how far away that is from you, Miss Karina. I forget how far Winslow is. Hey, Miss Shayna and Miss Donna and Mr. Andy and Chris. Welcome. What time we got here, guys? Oh, we got a few minutes. We got time for one more question. What you got? I'll be back on Wednesday, too. I just felt like coming on tonight. Sharing a little divine guidance. Okay. I like that hand. It's like... Although, why are the hands yellow? Are any of us really yellow? I don't think so. And let me just share a little grievance I have. I'm a little upset there's no redheaded emoji. Like, come on. Except for the mermaid, which I'll accept because I actually wanted to be a mermaid. I really thought that was a career when I was a kid. Not so much. Hey, Rebecca, welcome. So if you guys have a question, I got time for one more. So pop it below and then away we go. I need a drink. I've been talking a lot. Not an actual drink. I don't drink anymore, but water. That's what I meant. Just to be clear. No questions? I'll just mention this since we're on here. So sometimes I think some people are afraid to maybe ask a question because they're afraid of what I may say. And, we're live and public and all that. So if you have something you want to know about, but you don't want to be specifically called out on it, so to speak, feel free to send me a digital message, a DM, a PM, whatever, private message, and just ask your question. And then the next time I do one of these readings, I will make sure to answer it, but I won't say specifically who it was for. Because I know some of this can be a little sensitive. I try to really have a lot of integrity around what I say and how I say it. And there's just certain things I won't talk about too. If I feel like, I'm not going to share that. Like, I know it's meant to be shared if it's coming through me. However, sometimes it's just like, I don't feel comfortable saying it in a public setting. Okay. So just know that if that is something that you're wanting, you're like, oh, I really want to ask a question, but oh my God, what is she going to say about it? Or, you know, like, what if people know what I'm asking or whatever the fear may be around that? Know that you can absolutely send me a question privately and I will just answer it without saying who asked about it. Okay? Because I want this to be something that feels safe to you and feels like something you can do. And of course, I'm always available for private readings too. So if you're just like, you know what, I want a reading all to myself, and I won't be sharing nothing with nobody, then that's always an option too. So, okay, guys. Well, it's about 7 o'clock. And it's been an honor being here and serving you, and I will be back on Wednesday. I'm pretty sure. I have to check what time, because I know there's like a Reiki sound bath thing that I want to do. So we'll see if the time works. But I'm pretty sure I'll be on. Yeah. So it's been a pleasure. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being open and loving. And I will see you next time. Mwah! All right.